Yeah. Oh, homework, dude.
I'm
Can you?
almost done.
Oh, do you want to? Do you want to like start in 15 or something?
Do you want to call the bank, Shelly? I called him. I called him 4 months ago when we got the lead. We just like talking to salesmen. There's 8 minutes, but I don't know how much of it is credits. Let's see what's left. We got the end of this Shelly scene. Oh, because I don't like you. Oh, there it is. My daughter. Fuck you. It's so good.
Keep watching it right now as we catch up.
Oh, here we go. Oh, there it is. We'll do some live reaction here.
Exactly. This is the third act. Everything's building up. Big suspense. Al Pacino calling people cunts.
That's over. This is the denouement now. The guy came in with the boxes of phones.
Okay. Pete. While Pete's catching up there, welcome to episode 19.
And he's setting the phones up.
Hey, I'm back. You're back. Hey.
Yeah, I've been here. You froze.
No, you. Well, it's gonna look like you froze.
You froze.
Fair enough. You just enjoy yourself. We are doing episode 19 of the Filthy Animals movie podcast. Today, first time on the podcast, we have the great Pete Larney. Strong Pete Larney. Pete played a sexual predator in my first feature film, Filthy Animals. Pete is also a writer, and he's a father. He is a bad mamma jamma, and the reason why we're doing this film today is because why?
Because I'm a salesman. Because
Yeah,
I'm a salesman now.
Exactly. Salesman. Pete wears many hats. You could tell because of his background. There's good variety of hats. He has a cap. He has a sundew hat. He has different styles for different parts of the day. I got a good background in your hats.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Good variety. Hey, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for making this work today. I hope it worked for you.
Oh, yeah, it works great. I'm just wrapping up Glengarry Glen Ross.
Get it in. I was able to on my DVD watch all of the special features for this film.
Oh man, that sounds great.
And there's a 30-minute little section called ABC, Always Be Closing. Oh, Pacino, the great Pacino. Oh man, what a beautiful performance from everyone. We have the great Jack Lemmon in that scene right there, and he's just sprinkled with desperation. Really good performance. I believe him. I believe his neediness. The good Kevin Spacey, his career right now is just blooming. Seeing him pop up in left and right films. You could see him star in the latest YouTube video where he tries to get his job back as in House of Cards. No one told him not to do that. He had a lot of people around him telling him it's a great idea. This is going to go viral and everyone's going to want you back on the House of Cards. And then it went so well, they did it a second time. And if you want to check those out, it's pretty good. Pete, oh, Is it? Are you just really into that scene, or is it Frozen again?
I'm not frozen. Oh yeah, I guess I was really into it. I was like,
um,
oh, and now the jazz picks up again. It's a great ending.
it really is. I think it's a very this was a great film.
Blue skies smiling at me, nothing but blue skies. Great film.
I see. Yeah.
Great. That's my review. Officially a great film. Nothing but blue skies. Great film. I'm gonna put you on the Bluetooth.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah. Hey, you're all right. Hey, you're all right. When my buddy's freaking out, I'll tell him, "Hey, you're all right." That's a good angle, dude.
Thanks.
While you're getting settled.
All right. Okay. All right. I'm settled. I'm ready to go.
Okay.
I'm settled.
I first met Pete online through Audition videos, and then I met Pete at Space Station, and I remember being really grateful for the opportunity to be able to have people come in and audition, and I was the one getting the people in the waiting room. And I remember Pete was like sitting in his chair, kind of hunched down into it, and he had his right leg up and his right arm up. So he was kind of hiding a little bit like this. And then I said his name. I said, Pete Larney. And he just comes down, he goes like that and steps into it. Chest tall, very confident. Definitely felt the ego and felt, in a good way, intimidation. It was a really fun situation to be in. You came in and you really had a good energy and vibe about the true don't give a fuck. I really felt that energy, and I like that vibe a lot. And then we had you come in for a second time. And when you came in for the second time, I remember when you finished your audition, you said, "Okay, should I fuck off? Should I get out of here? You guys over it?" And I remember on that same day, I said, "No, can you actually stay for a minute?" But on that second time you came in, there was two things happening for auditions. There was people in the waiting room there to audition for sexual predators. And then there was another commercial that was for kids. So the second time you came in, we would open the door and you would see a lineup of sexual predators and then kids with their mom or dad. And it was like quite the mix. It was pretty funny. Pete, you knocked your audition out of the park. I remember having my friends come over, and they train martial arts or whatever. They're macho. And I remember saying, I'm having a hard time narrowing down who we should pick. And you, Elusia and myself, you really stood out to us. And I remember my friends saying, ooh, that one's pretty good. Okay, let's see the next one. Okay, that one's pretty good. Let's see the next one. And then yours came up and they said, just not him. And I said, why? And they go, I just don't like the way he makes me feel. Go back to the other one. And I said, what do you mean you don't like the way he makes you feel? They say, I just don't like it. Can we just go to the next one? And I was like, what does that mean? And they go, I just don't like him. And I go, in what way? And then we realized that is what we want. We want people to feel that way. And so, Pete,
we want to, when he gets justice, we should enjoy it.
Exactly. And so it was like one of those things where no one wanted, like myself, when I first met you and the way men are with egos, you could tell they weren't able to let that ego go yet about how, okay, yeah, I'm threatened by this guy. I actually feel a physical threat on top of him being a good predator, you know?
I feel like, I feel like we should like start a men's group or something, because I'm feeling. Yeah.
And my friend did that for a long time. It's called the Men's Spiritual Circle. And there's these guys that dressed very, they grow their hair out. They have walking sticks. They have like robes. and you can cry, and my brothers, and they post videos of themselves crying, saying I just love you and I just want everyone to give love, and then eventually they started charging my buddy too much money, so he stopped going. so he's like, they fucking want, $40 for a hug for an hour, so it's sizzled out,
Dude, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm gonna hide myself so I can't see myself. Can I do it on the phone? I might not be able to.
I don't know,
I
but
should switch to the computer.
You look great, man. What are you talking about?
I know, but it's better if
okay.
It's better. I don't know. I have more fun if I can't, but I don't think I can do it. I don't think I can get rid of my God damn it. You can do it on the computer, but not on the phone.
Oh, can I do it for you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, this is a good vulnerable men's group moment, I guess. Yeah, and this is it right here. And the movie is it's a very dysfunctional men's group in the film, right?
Yeah. So we are here today to talk about Glengarry Glen Ross, and the film came out in 1992. Pete, when was the first time you watched this movie?
I don't remember. Maybe like my early 20s, maybe.
Cool. Yeah. And so what was your first impression when you watched it?
Oh, I guess I was really thinking about it from an acting standpoint. So I was like, oh, wow, this acting's really good. It's probably my first impression.
Who did you hold on to as far as if you were to use that in audition? Is it the brass balls Baldwin or Pacino?
Well, I told you that I did a audition for NYU's theater school in high school, like senior year. I went up to New York and I had an audition at NYU's theater school, and I think we had to do 2 pieces, and I don't remember what the second one was, but I know that one of them was Roma's speech in the Chinese restaurant when he's trying to sell Link. When he's first starting, he's grooming Link. There's a sexual predator kind of vibe.
Oh yeah.
And I think in a lot of ways, the guy who's in charge at the place I work now, he kind of came up to me in the galley in the little kitchen there the other day, and he was I had just closed my first deal. Congrats. and he's, thank you very much, and he's like, so you starting to feel good? You starting to feel good on the phone? And I'm like, I always feel good. Yeah, I love. He's like, yeah, but I'm starting to really feel good. And I was like, yeah, I think so. And he's like, I can't say it out there in the meeting, but it's like picking up on chicks, man. It's like you just gotta sidle up and be like, hey, what's going on? to a prospect, and all the stuff we do is over the phone, and there's when you close that deal and when you get that money, it's a little bit like fucking a little bit.
Yeah.
And anyway, so that's I had no idea what that speech was about. All training departments smell vaguely of shit, it gets so you don't mind it. That's the worst thing I can confess. I had no idea what it was about, but I just something about the words. I was like, this is fucking weird and different and interesting, I want to do this. And I think I had no idea what I was doing because I didn't get in there. So I was definitely, the first time I saw it, I was watching that. I was like, oh shit, okay. And I still probably didn't get what it was about, and now I do. So maybe now I'll go back to NYU and see if they'll take me.
And I was gonna say, when you were talking earlier, we could insert that clip right there, right, of your audition thing, doing the monologue. Insert right here.
The grooming.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
I had through the Filthy Animals page sent it to your lady, and then she didn't write back, and I was like, I crossed the line. I was like,
yeah, it's funny, I don't think she even saw it.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah,
that's awesome. Yeah,
you got all worried you created something in your mind.
Well, I should also I should probably write a thing like, this is Pete at audition for this role, but I just sent this random grooming clip. Do you have your audition from the NYU thing?
Oh no, it wasn't. It was like just in a room with a guy.
Yeah. I'm with you.
And then I finished, and I think he was like, okay, not taking this one.
Hey, Pete, what's your weirdest audition experience when you have to basically, you're selling yourself? What's the weirdest scenario you've been in?
I had one actually also at Space Station, the same facility where I met you in person the first time, where it was going to be like a VR police training thing.
Okay.
Like we're gonna I've never done VR. I got close a couple times to getting cast in some VR thing, and I'd like to do it just to see what it's all about. But this was going to be for police training, and my job was to be like a guy who's about to jump off of a building. And I got a call back actually.
Sweet.
And then, so the first one was weird because a lot of it was, they just wanted me to improvise about, how sad I was or whatever, which is hard. Like, it's hard when you have no structure and you're supposed to be suicidal. It's like, how far do I take this? You know what I mean? There's no script. Like, how far am I going? But anyway, I got a call back, and then in the callback, the guy, I think he was like a real cop. They brought in a bunch of he had on like the boots, and I think he had like ridden his motorcycle there, and he was in uniform and stuff.
Cool.
And yeah, that was just weird. I didn't get that job.
What was it like?
Yeah.
What was it like preparing to audition to play a sexual predator?
I didn't really prepare at all.
Sick, dude. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What was your?
I learned the words. That was pretty much it. That was all I did.
Good man. What was your impression of us in the room, all of us?
Well, you had like super long hair, and you were like, you're like a big guy with super long hair. I guess I thought you were like, right out of like a men's group or something. I was like, where's his walking stick? Where's his robe? Is he gonna charge me $40 for this hug? Like, what's happening? No, I don't remember. You say that I came across as confident, but in every audition I'm like scared to death.
That's awesome.
So yeah, so I think, I mean, just to get real and vulnerable, right? And I'd hug you right now if I could.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, I'm pretty scared. And so like when I did that VR suicide thing, like I didn't prepare for that either. I didn't think about how sad I was. I just try to tap in the moment, how afraid I am.
Yeah.
And like just be, be there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. And then how are things like in this climate right now with COVID? Is it all just auditioning like this, videos?
I love it. Yeah, I'm auditioning at the office. I'll like be on the phone trying to sell, my stuff, and then and then I'll go down, and there's like a foyer with like some really nice light that comes in the window. It's like real diffuse, and like, yeah, it looks really good. There's a nice blank wall. I set the tripod up.
Yeah, I had my my key grip put me as a recommendation for a job, and it's at a warehouse. And when she called me, I was like, yeah, boom, boom, boom. And then I said, what's his availability like if he has to take time off to shoot a film? Can he take like 2 or 3 weeks off? And like, so by the end of it, I kind of helped get him the job, but then I made sure if I needed him for shooting, I could get him. That was a nice, like, And then he calls me. He's like, "What the fuck?" she's telling me I could, if I need to take time off to work with you, I can. I was like, "Good. I'm glad it worked out."
Yeah, perfect. Well done.
Yeah. And are they flexible where if you have something coming up, you can pull it?
Yeah.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah. And now I've I've only been there 3 weeks. I've booked 2 jobs from auditions that I've done at the office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really cool. Really cool.
Yeah. I'm going to get COVID tests on my lunch break and going to fittings on my lunch break and stuff. So
Awesome. The grind
yeah.
is awesome, Pete. I love that.
Trying.
Pete also plays I fucked up your intro, bro. Pete also plays the sax in New Elvis.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the many hats thing, the many hats.
Yeah.
I trained in New Elvis a lot, man. I love it.
You trained?
Oh yeah. I like, get a little pump.
Oh, you trained to New Elvis. Oh yeah. Yeah. Some new Elvis is great for some training. For
And
sure. Like Who's Gonna Die First, or
yep.
yeah. Yeah. Bill and Machini.
Yeah. In Love
Hell
Jam.
yeah.
I'm big on Love Jam. If I got some heavy numbers, I love
Sure.
it. I'm looking forward to the full album coming out soon.
Me too.
Good.
Yeah.
Okay, so transitioning a little bit to Glengarry Glen Ross.
Okay.
I watched it last night. I think what I get kind of bummed about with a film like this is it's always known for a YouTube clip as opposed to people seeking out and watching the full film. Um, I've always known this film with sales movies. People enjoy watching the monologue of Ben Affleck in Boiler Room, and then, of course, Alec Baldwin and Glengarry Glen Ross, and then Leonardo DiCaprio and Wolf of Wall Street. But this film as a whole is very complete. This is a really good structured film, and from Pacino's performance and Jack Lemmon's performance, you get a variety of every different personality type, and you get a good. Is it okay? Is it a bit glitch, or are you okay, Pete?
It's not happening on my side. I'm still here. So
Okay.
I don't know what you're seeing. I can't see what you're seeing.
It's okay. Can you hear me okay?
I don't know what happened, but don't worry.
Can you hear
I
me?
hear you great.
Okay.
Nothing happened for me.
Oh, copy. Okay, so
it's all smooth sailing. Yeah.
This film is directed by James Foley. He did 50 Shades 2 and 3. He did The Corruptor. He did the film Fear. He's done a ton of videos for Madonna. He did the show Billions. And this was written by David Mamet of Ronin, Wag the Dog, Hannibal, and The Untouchables, and many more. This was a film apparently when they were on set had to be word for word exact. No improv.
Yeah.
No room for it. Can you hear me?
That's awesome. I can. Yeah, no improv.
How do you feel, Pete, when you get a script? Oh.
No, it's okay. I'm just fucking around with Zoom.
Oh. Okay.
Sorry. How do I feel when I get a script?
And how do you feel about locking in the words or improv? What's your opinion on that as an actor and a writer?
I think either one is cool. Like they're both cool in their own way. Locking in the words is great because then you don't have to worry about anything else. You don't have to worry about what to say. And you don't have to worry about so much the actions that the word, a lot's taken care of for you. You can just like learn it cold and then like let it fly and rest on it. And that's really cool when the writing is great, like it is in Glengarry Glen Ross. But it's also cool when the writing's not so great because fuck it, like who are you to judge? You know what I'm saying? Just fucking learn it and do it, And then the improv side of it's cool because you can discover things, make them your own, have moments that nobody expected. be surprised, have some fun. I guess that's kind of all the same thing. But you know, I think they're both. I think they're both great. I like both ways of working. I just like working.
When you first get a script, is that something you talk about beforehand with the director? If some things will be improv or things can be locked in, and how do you handle that when you memorize a monologue? I can understand that kind of being on your own, but when you memorize an important scene where you have to go back and forth with somebody, are you memorizing the other person's lines also?
Recently, I shot a short that was just the two characters, me and this other guy, and I took the Anthony Hopkins route with it. Apparently, he said that he just reads the thing like 300 times,
Cool.
and that's all he does. And that's what I did for that one. I didn't do it 300, but it was like, and it was only short. It was only 7 pages or something like that. I read it, I don't know, maybe like 60 times or something like that. And and I never said it out loud or anything, and I didn't even try to memorize it. All I did was read it over and over and over and over again. And it was awesome. Like I had a great time. So that's what I did. I didn't memorize his lines. I didn't memorize my lines. I didn't do anything. All I did was just read it over and over and over.
Yeah. When I took an acting class, and I took it intentionally as a director, where I wanted to be able to relate to my actors and just go through that process, you know. I memorized out of nervousness. I memorized everything, and like to this day, I still have little monologues memorized. But I don't know if I was to continually do that project to project, how I would go about that, you know.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know either. Like every project is its own thing. I really like that Hopkins approach though.
Sweet.
Because it's so simple,
Yeah.
you know, and it it gets things in there on the like subconscious level. You know, it sinks in without even you trying to make it sink down in there.
Yeah.
You know, just the process of the repetition, it makes it sink in. Yeah.
He did this movie with Olivia Colman this year called The Father, and it's about Anthony Hopkins' character is the early stages of having Alzheimer's, and I guess it's a incredible film.
That sounds cool.
When you see Pete, I know you're a dad, so you're sometimes watching some of the the films of whatever your daughter watches, but what do you need to see out of a film to immediately want to see it?
God. You mean like before you see it?
Yeah, like
before you watch it, like what makes?
Yeah. So Pete, like when you see do you see a trailer or do you see the cast?
Now I'm probably too far away from the fucking router. Probably too far away from the router now. What makes you want to watch it before you sit down and watch it, or what is it like when you start watching it that makes you think you're going to keep sitting there, or what?
Yeah, like what was a
Be
movie?
specific.
What was a movie in your life when you saw the trailer or you saw the director and the combination with the cast where you said, I need to watch this as soon as it comes out, the day it comes out? You know, what gets you excited about those movies?
I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been watching movies lately because I just don't have any time. Like, I'm glad that we did this because it made me sit down and watch a movie.
Yeah.
Which was nice. Like, I think in the past it's mostly the cast or it's the director. So
And who are your favorite directors and actors?
um, it's been a while, but like I like Michael Shannon a lot.
Nice, man. I
Who
dig that.
else? I mean, you know, Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
Love me some Daniel Day-Lewis.
Yeah.
But it could be anybody. I mean, there's amazing actors all over the place. And sometimes you're watching a thing and it's like a small supporting role, and you're just like, oh, I fucking love what that actor is doing. Even if they're not like a big name or whatever. I think it's just fun to watch performance. Um,
Did you see?
and yeah,
Did you see Michael Shannon in a film called Nocturnal Animals?
of course not. I haven't. I haven't watched any movies. I've been going. I like make dinner and at 6 and go to bed at 8,
Yeah,
and get up and do it all over again.
I know.
You know, we're watching the framing of Britney Spears or whatever, and then we're watching we're watching like true crime and
Yeah.
yeah,
Did you?
like whatever kind of pulpy thing we can watch on Netflix before we fall asleep.
What about how was Flubber with Raymond J. Barry?
It was kind of on, and like I didn't really sit down and take it in, but from what I saw, it was awesome.
Yeah.
Ray was also awesome
Yeah.
because it's right. It's ridiculous. It's about like this green stuff, but like Ray is just like you fucking believe every single word,
Yeah.
But it's also at the same time it's this real like archetypal villain kind of thing that he's
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Did you ever? Ray also plays that same kind of role in Cool Runnings.
I haven't seen that, but I would like to.
It's
Yeah.
it's pretty funny how bad he is. He's just the villain guy, just a bad guy.
Yeah, he's just like
Yes. Yeah. Ray will do a Hopkins thing also, just like you were describing, with as far as memorizing, reading, memorizing both persons' dialogue, actions, and locking that in. And that's why when we had him on set, if we changed one thing, it was like we were really screwing ourselves over. It was a disservice at that point.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I get that. Yep. Yeah, yep.
Yeah. And that was cool when you came to visit us when we had Ray on set. That was fun. It was fun having you.
That was fun. It was fun to watch him work. That's like the kind of thing where you see like he's got it and he's doing it. And there's really like you watch it in the room versus I'm sure like what you watch on camera, it's not different.
Right.
Like
Right.
you know what I mean? It's just like that's what he's fucking doing. And whether there's a camera there or not, like it's there 1,000%.
Yeah. I'm going to interview him on Friday. Do you have a question for him?
No, I mean, I don't know. Can I come watch him paint or something?
Yeah, dude. All right, cool. I'm gonna ask him.
Okay.
Yeah. This is his. Oh, this way.
That one. That's awesome.
It's just when I look at it, I'm just like drugs. Like it's just like these beautiful, abstract, trippy, Yeah, he was pretty funny. He was like, just help me pay for the frame and take it. And then we found out later the frame was a lot more. It was hilarious. He's like, just fucking take it. It was cool. He's a good dude.
It's like a $10,000 frame. You got
I was like $60. He's like, they go for 5-10 grand. And I was like, oh, I'm sorry. Ignore my ignorance, Yeah.
It's a cool one.
It's I'll send you a better picture of it when we get through this.
Okay.
So how do you feel about the mindset, Pete, of ABC? Always be closing. Do you feel that as an actor also, or do you just feel that in sales?
ABC, always be closing. Well, I'm a new salesman, so I think, oh, what does that mean? I've been, I got to think about what that means. It's not really a mindset that I've nurtured too much, but I guess I have to now, if I want to hit my numbers. And I kind of get it because I'm at the point like where you get somebody on the phone, you start feeling them out. You're like, oh, could this be a deal? Could this not be a deal? I don't know. Whatever. It's just kind of fun at that point. You're like learning things, you know, discovering things about them and their situation. But then it's like, oh, this could be a deal. I'm on to one, you know. And then you get into the close, and it's like, no, my heart starts beating faster. It's like, well, wait, should I have been closing before? Because I'm closing now. Like, but am I too nervous? You know, am I going to blow it? Like, are they going to hear in my voice that I'm like, oh God, like I want their money. Oh, I want.
You
know, too late. It's too late now. I should have been closing from the beginning.
Yeah, I've grown up in sales. I grew up working at a GNC, and if you sold certain supplements, you can make commission. I grew up as a personal trainer, and I grew up also as a car salesman. And so it's intense, man. And it is a fun high. You get addicted to the sale and the hitting your bonus and then fighting for they didn't put the numbers of the bonus on your check. It's like an ongoing, it's a game. It's a really fun game to play. As a actor, are you changing it up on your approach, or is it one kind of go in the sales call?
I think absolutely I do. Yeah. I think right now it's pretty like intuitive, and I make a lot of mistakes. But for sure, like I'll find myself, you know, just going into a little bit of a drawl if I'm talking to somebody that has something like that going on, you know, or if it's like an old lady, like it's different.
Do you do the thing where they go, oh, I got to talk to my husband, you know, but he's not home right now. My husband's an astronaut. Do you go, my brother's an astronaut? Any of that or what?
Yeah, we're counseled to talk about our own experience as if it's a client. So it'll be like, oh, I have a client who's an astronaut.
Yeah.
Like I just had lunch the other day with a client who's an astronaut. He's an astronaut.
What's his last name? Maybe they know each other. Yeah, that whole thing. And then one of the things I was trying to put myself in a situation is I always had the personal experience where they were in front of me. So it does seem to be, especially in this climate now, very intimidating where, you know, nowadays people don't answer the phone because they could see who's calling. And if it's a number they don't recognize, you know, they don't even.
You know what though? They do answer the phone.
And are they on a list, or is this a random cold call kind of situation?
No, I have a CRM, okay. but I'm calling them cold. Yeah. And I kind of love cold calling people. I didn't think I would like it, but it's you like you said, it's like a game, and it's like fishing kind of like I go fishing with my brother in Colorado, like fly fishing, and you're just like walking up the river and dropping your line in. You never know when it's gonna hit and like get on the line, and like cold calling people's the same thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's like somebody picks up and you never know what you're gonna get. You know, it could be some lady yelling at you, like, take me off your fucking list. Can't believe you guys. Like I mean, at least with our thing, like I'm working for a tax mediation firm. Okay. So we help people that owe money on their taxes. So it's like, do you owe money to the IRS?
Yeah.
Like, hello? Yeah. Do you owe money to the IRS? It's like, oh, yeah, I do. Yeah. Okay. How much? Let's talk about it, you know? And then they get into it. So it's really easy, right? To like qualify right away. Like if somebody has the problem that we're there to solve or not, you know what I mean? It's not like a mystery. You can get at it right away. And then they're like, no, I don't owe taxes. You're like, okay, goodbye. You get somebody else.
Those are really triggering words, the way you're starting the phone call. That's awesome. That's right. It's right to the point also.
Yeah. It's like, hello, taxes. I got him, you know. I'm like, yeah, taxes. You want to talk about taxes? Let's talk about taxes.
When I was like even more dumb and a little younger, when I would get a sales call, I would do this. It's kind of rude. Do you want to go through it? You want to hear what I used to do?
Hell yeah.
All right. Call me. Like,
Okay. All right.
hello.
Yeah. Hi. I'm calling you.
Without your business name and like, you know, not wanting to share it, of course, just like it's the tax thing. Call me like that.
Oh, I'm calling you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I thought it was the other way around. Okay. All right. Here we go.
All right.
Ring, ring.
There it is. There's the ring. Hello.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, it's Pete Larney calling from the tax mediation firm. Do you owe money to the IRS?
I'm so sorry. I have bad service. Could you just say that one more time?
Do you owe money to the IRS? You have bad service? Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Could you just say that one more time?
Taxes. You owe taxes. You have back taxes. What's going on? Tell me, how much do you owe?
I'm so sorry.
How much do you owe?
Say that one more time.
One more. See, like, I mean, I would pick up on that for sure, and I would just start fucking around with the person.
Exactly. And then I would enjoyed every time I asked them to say it again, I kept saying it slower, one, and dragging it out. And I stopped doing it, Pete. That's not nice. I should just hang up, right?
No, I wouldn't hang up. I don't know what
say no thank you and then hang up, right? No thank you.
Yeah, just no thank you and hang up. I mean, I don't know. I had a guy the other week. I call and it's like he answers the phone, and so I know he's not the one I want to talk to. It's a woman's name on the thing, and I'm just like, hey, can I talk to the lady? And he's like, oh, why? What's up? And I'm like, does she owe money to the IRS? Like, here to helps sort that out. And he's like, oh, she owes money to the IRS. Sorry. You know what? Hold on. There's an ambulance going by. If you get here soon, you can fucking chase it. And then he like hangs up. He's like, sorry, hold on. There's an ambulance going by. If you get here soon, you can fucking chase
it. I love it. That's amazing. And then do you ever get like in auditions or sales, do you ever get discouraged? Does it ever mess with your mentality?
Well, that one a little bit, like I was a little, like he didn't like that he thought I was an ambulance chaser, like, I'm just trying to help with the tax problem. Like, it's so discouraging. He sees me that way, and then I just bounce back right away. I think all the auditioning over the years has really taken that out of, is really like beaten that out of me. It doesn't bother me. I'm just like, oh, let's jump back in the pool. Let's throw the line in again and just keep going.
Yeah. Through my journey, I've gotten, and especially with getting this film done and just trying to ask for favors, I get denied a lot. And I don't, it's almost one of those things where I like to think of it as like armor, that there's like an armor that we have on us, and gator skin, and just having thick skin and knowing no matter how many denied, eventually you'll get a bite, just like your fishing example. I think it's cool. I think it's fun to not let it mess with you and like treat it as like, cool, next one, what's up?
It helps too that the list of phone numbers that I have is like 10 miles long. It's not like this is the 5th of 5 that I have, and he tells me to like go chase an ambulance, and it's like, oh, well, that's it. I only got 2 lead cards for the day, and I blew both of them, and now my daughter's gonna die in the hospital.
Right. Fair enough. With sales movies in general, do you have is this your all-time favorite one, Glengarry Glen Ross?
I've never seen Boiler Room. I have seen Wolf of Wall Street. By the way, did you see Belfort's? Like, Jordan Belfort did a take on DiCaprio's speech, but like about GameStop.
So yeah, I've met Belfort. He trains in Redondo Beach. He's a little guy, or whatever. But I don't know if he's like, but he's like a petite guy. He's always known for having a little phone in. and he's like training and working out. He's cool, man. I did see the video you're talking about.
Yeah, it's good.
It's awesome.
It's funny how like little guys have such big personalities sometimes. Yeah.
You gotta,
Pacino's like that because Pacino is a little guy. He's little.
he he has, to me, he's the MVP of this film. Do you agree?
They're also good. They're also good. Like, fucking. Why am I blanking on his name?
Jack.
The guy who plays Air. The guy who plays Air now. Alan Arkin. Alan Arkin.
Yeah.
Is so great. So like understated. So like.
Yeah.
And Ed Harris. But yeah, like Pacino has a lot of really great shifts in the film. Like Link comes in and he's all worried. He's like, "Hi, talk. What is it? Tell me. There are some things that you have with your wife, and then there are some things that are yours." And then the guy walks out, and he's just like, and then he goes over to Williams and just starts ripping him a new one.
Yeah.
And everything. So yeah, he's got a lot of great like transitions and a lot of colors. So maybe, is that why you feel that way, that he's the MVP?
Yeah, I think he does a really good job of we get to see every muscle of the salesman with his performance. We get to see him at the restaurant and what it's like when you can wine and dine someone one-on-one. And you were right about like even the way he talks to him or the way he's sitting by him. He's grooming, he's dominating.
He scoots over, he gets a little closer.
Yeah.
He takes out the brochure.
And then when he comes back and he's like, my wife says I shouldn't talk to you and things like that. He's like, why? He's slowly re-controlling him again by telling him to sit down or telling him, let's go here. Come on. So we get to see, for a sales movie, his character goes through all of it, and I think I love the feeling that the position that the guy's under. I love the back and forth about 3 days, business days, and like kind of pushing it off and just straight lying, just straight plain dumb. It's kind of scary.
Yeah. And also like he gets the Cadillac, but then like he loses the Cadillac.
Yeah.
He's gonna get his bonus and then it's gone. That really illustrates that sales thing of the way the deal can fall apart. You can think you've got the deal and it falls apart.
If you were to jump into that film, who would you like to play?
Oh man, I don't know who I would be. I would fit into that movie. Let me see. Like, I don't obviously wouldn't be Roma. I'm not a good Roma. Maybe I could do like Moss. I could do like Harris's part. Do like Moss or I don't think I'm a good office manager either. Spacey. Maybe Moss would be the best. I think that's like I'm like the resentful, bitter guy who's just like, fuck this shit. Fuck these old leads. Fuck Mitch and Murray. Like, fuck this whole organization. I'm gonna go in business for myself. I'm gonna go talk to Jerry Graff. And fuck this place.
From a story perspective, I agree. I think you do great at that. And I think also potentially Kevin Spacey's character would be cool. I could see you playing that and doing well. And like, I like when he realizes that Jack Lemmon's character made a bullshit sale, and the way he knows it and the way he hides it and the smirk and all that's like a lot of having to just show very little but give us a little signs of something. I thought it was a really good performance. I was losing my train of thought, getting excited about something. Oh, we never see Ed Harris come back, which is interesting. We never see him again after the night.
No, we do. There's that whole scene where he like the day he comes in and they're grilling him in the office.
I fucked up. You're right. You're right. It was weird the way okay, so I gotta understand the story correctly. He doesn't have Alan Arkin help him steal it, right? Because Jack Lemmon just does it.
He has Jack Lemmon help him.
Okay, that's what it was. So all three are involved.
Yeah, but I think Alan Arkin, probably it's implied that Alan Arkin turns it down or something.
Because he basically makes it clear to him at the bar. He goes, I will not. He just tells him, I won't do that. No way. And then he eventually gets Jack to do it. Jack Lemmon's character.
I think that that's what's implied. Yeah,
Okay,
because
cool.
he's really leaning. I think he's leaning on Alan Arkin and telling him like, if you don't do this, I'll implicate you anyway. And he's really trying to like
Yeah.
squeeze him.
Yeah.
And then you don't see how it's resolved, and then you find out that Jack Lemmon does it, who's like his character way easier to squeeze because he's more desperate because of whatever's going on with his daughter or whatever. So yeah, I think that's what happens. I
I,
mean, it's kind of implied, which is cool.
yeah.
You
No,
don't really know what happens.
I like that we see Jack Lemmon go through also the opposite version of the salesman where, he does the old school tactics where he's on the payphone and he goes, should I come at 8 or 10 a.m.? So he's essentially doing those classic, like, you're not saying no, you're doing one where you're going to see me in either scenario. And then I had so much empathy for his character when, he shows up at the guy's house and the guy's like, my wife signed this fucking thing. I don't know. We all know that scenario. We all know that pushing him out.
That's an example of like one of those actors you don't know who it is, but that guy was so good. The way
You're
he
right.
played that scene, the way he played that scene was so great and
Yeah.
gave Jack so much. You really felt for him because
Yeah.
he played that he played it so beautifully. And like, I don't know who that guy is. Probably some New York theater actor.
Right. Yeah. No, he
You
did
know,
it. He did a really good job. And I like how he eventually doesn't even say bye to him. He just kind of closes the door on him and like very great.
he like looks the other way. He
Yeah.
turns his head. He just like,
Well,
just get out of here.
and then he goes like, I need to leave. And he goes, cool, I'll drive. I'll leave with you. And then he ends up just having to close the door on him, which is like, extra, just completely no, like almost fuck off.
And
How do
back out into the rain too.
Yeah, I know exactly. And then you're doing just a walk of shame. And then they subtly show why he should be so desperate because he's dealing with something with his daughter at the nursing and having to pay the next day, right?
Yeah.
Something like
He
that.
needs the money for like, I don't know, she's
That's
gonna have
what,
an operation or some
right.
shit.
Something, right? Something where they gave us that moment of, this is what we need.
Yeah.
How do you feel about the sale begins when the customer says no?
Oh, is that a thing you learned? I don't know anything about that. Tell me how that works.
It was just in the special features. It brought like,
Oh,
okay, so there's a special feature on the DVD where it's the director and writer, but also just the top salesmen in random businesses that they interviewed. And they
oh
essentially
man,
they just
I
went.
gotta see it.
I'll send you I have the whatever you want to do. The DVD. It's I don't know. It won't fit.
Does
It won't,
does Prime Video have the special features? Because that's
no,
what I bought it on.
that's what's so shit about Netflix and all these
Come
things.
on, Bezos.
Yeah.
I just want to say this is to Jeff Bezos. I know you're gonna watch this, Jeff. I need you to put the special features in Prime Video. Not right that it's not there.
And stop doing that feature where I can't watch the credits and it makes me jump into another thing. People want to watch the credits. What's up?
That too.
Yeah.
You listening, Bezos?
How do
So
you
it starts when they say no.
yeah, and like essentially that's your first objection and you're supposed to constantly overcome objections. I think for me, what made it really hard was GNC. It felt good. I would sell certain supplements that actually help people. Different companies were making like glutamine, for instance, right? Glutamine is made in the same lab. So if there's 5 different companies, all of it's the same thing. So I don't really mind pushing the product that's going to pay me more because it's the same kind of thing, right? Um,
Okay.
I can get behind personal training. For me, the hardest thing was the car selling business is ruthless, man. It's mean. It's mean. It's a mean business. You essentially people will come in that have good credit and they will come in and say, this is what I should get for my trade-in. This is what I should get for my car because a website told me and they did the math for me, right? The ones that you could always make money off of, which just makes you feel like shit. I never got into it, was a family that had 4 or 5 kids. They needed to get one of them in a car for approved credit, and you could milk it and take advantage of them. And there was times where I even like turned away to like see what my closer was doing, and I would tell them, ask for this. Can you do this? I got to a point where it didn't feel right. It wasn't rewarding, the sales aspect. You know, it was a pretty nasty business, man. It's a dying, to me, it's a dying industry, that kind of situation.
Car sales like that.
Yeah. It was tough, man. And then you can pretty much, if somebody traded in a car and I got them in a used car, that sale I would make $1,000 was pretty much the average of what I would do. But you're essentially they just teach you and you learn to play a game that, you know, you're taking advantage of people that they're gonna always be in that situation because they're always having to do this, as opposed to, it's very divided. It sucks.
As opposed to just like paying cash for a used car and like
Yeah.
negotiating the price down. Just be like, yo,
Yeah.
this is the cash I have.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Do you want to give me the car or not?
I
Okay.
when I bought a car once and I knew everything about the sales, I was able to like make $4,000 and sell $4,000 off the car for what I was able to get for it. And it was because you find the websites and you find like a glitch in the system almost. And then from there, it got so bad at this one dealership where I remember the salesman's name was Ian, and he didn't know I was a car salesman at the time, but I kind of like played it hard and like screwed him up on numbers. Then they brought the closer over, and then the closer, you know, he's the big dick kind of coming in, and he goes, Ian is inaccurate. He goes, we can't give you the car for this cost. And I said, we talked about it all beforehand. I go, I have a check for this exact amount. And they had to go and find the phone call, hear the recording. I had to write on a piece of paper, Ian said I could get the car for this cost, which is why I'm here, which is like unheard of. You don't sign a blank piece of paper writing something like that. They sold me the car, and then as they're finishing up the car, I walk outside and they're having their smoke break and they're all chewing out Ian. And then as they're chewing out Ian and all the paperwork is done, I went up to him and said, it's not his fault. I'm a car salesman. I just went like, bah, you know, and we all had a laugh. Yeah. Yeah. And then, but beforehand, I brought my dad because we had to like, you know, drive out there, and I had to drive the new car out of there. I was yelling at the closer. And at one point I got up and I threw the keys at him. And then like I did my own little performance, Pete. And so, and I threw the keys at him, and anyway, it worked out. I don't have that car anymore.
After I threw the keys at him, it went great after that.
He was like, wait, well, you wait till the end of the month. You wait till the end of the month and you go when they're like 2 hours from closing, so you don't spend a whole evening in the dealership or a whole day in the dealership, you know?
Yeah.
It sucks. It's a grind. It's its own monster, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. So
Okay.
when they say no, that's when it starts.
Exactly. Yep. Another one for Pete.
I'm gonna have to try that one. When they say no, that's when it starts, because it's, well, it's, you know, it's the same thing with molesting little kids. Like when they say no, that's when it.
Exactly.
That's what I learned working on your film.
Exactly. You have a great sense of humor, man. You're sending me pictures. You know, you're helping make cookies with your daughter. You were. I remember. Yeah, good times. I really like Al Pacino's monologue about living in the moment, about how we're always thinking about the past or always thinking about the future. Do you live in the moment, Pete?
I mean, I don't know. I try. I don't, like, you're always in the moment,
Yeah.
whether you like it or not.
Yeah.
I guess in some ways, um, even if that moment is, I guess that's a trick, right? Because the moment can be about the future or it can be about the past, but
Right.
the trick is to recognize that that's what the moment is about, and be like, oh, I'm in the past right now. Oh, I'm in the future, or oh, I'm da da da, and then really being there with whatever it is, that it's the moment. I think when you say in the moment, like you think, oh, I've got to look around, but it's like, but it's not the moment external to you, it's the moment that's internal to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think like being present with that.
Have you seen a movie called Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood?
No, that's different from Won't You Be My Neighbor.
Won't You Be My Neighbor is the documentary, and then
Yeah.
Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood is Tom Hanks playing Mr. Rogers.
No, I haven't seen it. I would like to though.
It's if when you watch it, if you watch it soon, we'll discuss it more. There's a scene in it that really stood out to me where I think the character's name is Lloyd. It's not about Mr. Rogers. It's about how a person's life was impacted by Mr. Rogers. Okay. And he was someone that he like judged him. He's like, there's got to be something wrong with him. Look at him with his fucking sweater, essentially stuff like that. Right. But he's chosen to do an article with Mr. Rogers. And when Mr. Rogers first meets him, he's in the middle of it being at the studio and they're filming his show, Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. And he sees Lloyd from across the room and he stops everything that he's doing to go meet Lloyd and shake his hand. And then I believe there's a scene after where they're talking and he just discusses, he goes, it made me think of it with the Al Pacino scene. He goes, right now in this moment, you have my undivided attention. There's nothing going on. My thoughts are completely with you. You have my complete time. And it just made me think about when I do that in general, being in the moment, being completely in the moment and present. And as you're talking, not thinking about later, I got to go clean up the dog shit, or something like that,
Yeah. Yeah. Do you have to go clean up the dog shit there?
Like every other day, then when I see the rain coming, I'm like, oh, gotta get on top of it.
Yeah.
Random example. I think
yeah. And being in the it's a sales thing too, like, and it's hard because always be closing.
Yeah.
How are you going to be in the moment but always be closing? Like, my boss will be like, dude, you got to stick to the script.
Yeah.
Like, you got to stick to the script, but it's like, dude, I was in the moment with that person.
Yeah.
I was listening to what was going on with their tax situation, and I was trying to understand their life and what led to it. But it's like, at the same time, always be closing.
Yeah.
How am I going to like take what's happening right now and lead it to the conclusion that it needs to go to? How am I going to get Pete off this Zoom so I can go clean up the dog shit? Like, but then that becomes the moment. You're like, oh, that's what I'm in right now. And then if you can share that vulnerable way and have a hug, then, right?
I'll be out there. I'll be smoking a joint, clean up the dog shit, and I'll be completely in the moment of picking up the shit,
Yeah, sure.
How do you feel about Alec Baldwin's big monologue, his brass ball speech?
I mean, I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. It's so iconic. So much of that movie is so quotable, and so much of it is that, coffee's for closers. Like, when I got to work first day, coffee's ready. Like, that's what I think about. I think about Alec Baldwin. I think about that scene. You like, we have a board in our office, TV screen with the spreadsheet on it with everybody's numbers. You think like first prize gets the Cadillac, second prize is a steak pie. Third prize is you're fired.
That's so right.
I'm going downtown. I'm going to talk to Mitch and Murray.
Right.
It's so strong. Like, he's always like shot from below, so he's like, looking down on you.
Position of power. Yep.
Yeah, he's in the position of power. When it's the other way, it's like coming from above him, looking at the dudes like sitting there cowering at their desks.
Yeah.
I drove an $80,000 BMW. That's my name.
Yeah. and I even like that he like has the cards in his hand and he's like so on point. He just goes like this. And then Kevin Spacey grabs him, right? Yeah. It's Mr. Mr. Smooth and cool.
Yeah.
If I had to,
and you don't get them. because to give to you would be just throwing them away.
Yeah, go Pete, go. Go Pete, go. I'm looking through my notes, just grazing through. Yeah.
You're grazing like a cow on your notes.
Yeah. I got lots of
Doing
notes.
them over.
I got a note that says, "Oh, have I got your attention now?" Just some of the lines of Baldwin, I think, is just really fun. I like the use of the red neon lights that we get when we're first in the office. And then I like the use of the red in the bar in the restaurant. And I think for it being such a movie that's like, that could be essentially stage, I think they do a really good job of putting you in good environments also at the same time.
Yeah, I actually like, I was thinking about that because you brought this up when we were discussing it, like the stage versus the film. And I think the film, I've never seen this on stage, so this is total bullshit, but I think it makes a better film. Even though like it's so dialogue heavy, it's like to get the rain in there, so much of the atmosphere, I think it really helps.
Yeah.
You know?
Well, just to add on to what you're saying, we can have fun with the blocking. We could put Pacino sitting next to him close. We could see him standing up, talking over him, and then sitting back down to him. And then Alec Baldwin, like you just said, where they put the camera. You can really enhance those performances if it's shot that way, you know?
Yeah, you can have the close up on the balls,
Yeah,
the brass balls.
and it's like a reveal. It's like a reveal
yeah,
too, the way it's shot.
That it's a great shot the way it's shot. Yeah. And the stage, I'm sure it just becomes so much about the words and about the dialogue, and that's what it's sitting on and relying on. And the dialogue is great, but I think it's cooler when the dialogue is supporting everything else instead of being the star.
I prefer these films over. I hate that this has become the example, but like then Fast and the Furious or these like big spectacles of action. Do you feel the same way about when you have to watch a film, getting to watch something like this?
Yeah, for sure. I'm riveted by something like this.
Yeah.
I'm totally riveted. You know, the subtle interpersonal things, like these little interpersonal dramas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm fascinated because that's life.
Yeah.
My life is like that. My life is happening on that plane. My life isn't happening like at 100 miles an hour with a camera like whipping around me.
Right.
You know.
As a filmmaker, I have more desire to make films in this kind of environment and kind of climate than stuff that's made in a room or where I have actors looking at a tennis ball or things like that. I actually really miss, this is going a little off subject, but like I really miss animatronics and practical effects. Are you the same way? Like, are you VFX? Is that something that you're into or what? You know, when you watch a monster movie or something?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you think of some of the stuff in like Peter Jackson's earlier stuff, like Dead Alive, or
Sweet, dude.
Well, and some of the like practical effects in Lord of the Rings they're so cool. Yeah, there's like a magic to them that when they're digital, it's like, oh, they can be super cool and everything, but there's the same magic. It's not quite as magical because you can achieve anything. So it's not magical. You're just like, oh, well, wow, they really put the time in there. They really spent the money. They really like, you know, but it's not like, how'd they do that?
Right.
Kind of like, wow, you know.
Something that kind of bummed me out is from the first Godzilla, the one that came out in 2014 or 2016. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
He moves slow, right? Because he's huge. So like when he moves, it's like this, right? And then you see the trailer for Godzilla King of the Monsters, the second one, and they're like lightweights. they're like in a building and they're like jamming and moving fast, and like it's a weird rule with gravity and how in like center of gravity, and if you're bigger it's going to take you longer to get your punch across. I'm just becoming more and more not a I used to love monster movies, but I appreciate like the man in the suit or the animatronic like building a machine, and that's what we're working with, and I feel that from performances also.
How do you feel it from performances?
I feel like if I was on set and I was dealing with like, let's say Alien, for example, right? And I'm having them run away from a guy has a tennis ball, and they're running, acting scared. Or I decided to like deck a guy out in an alien suit, and he's wearing this like helmet of a mask that's like wet and gooey. I want them to deal with that.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, like, do you find those performances? You find the performance with the gooey mask,
Yeah.
you think like more believable than the performance with the tennis ball? You feel like you can feel it.
I'm more invested. I'm more invested.
What?
I'm more invested. Do you
Yeah,
do you feel the same way?
I got you. Um, I don't know. I'm not. I haven't watched movies. Like I said, I go to bed. I don't have feelings about that.
Are you still doing a lot of the
I
Wim
don't
Hof?
want to. I don't want to act with a tennis ball. Like,
Right.
I'll tell you that. Like,
Right.
that's not that fun. It's way more fun. Way more fun to do the other. I mean,
Right.
it's challenging to act with the tennis ball, but something inside of me like rebels. I'm just like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
I've got to like just, you know, um,
Two
yeah.
two questions. Both aren't on par with each other. Are you still doing the Wim Hof breathing and ice hot stuff?
I take cold showers every day, and I do the breathing every morning.
Cool. And so if you do in the shower, are you just like cranking it to hot, cranking it to cold, going back and forth?
No, it's just cold all the way.
Oh fuck, dude. All right, I gotta step up my game. That's cool.
Oh, I wish I had a cold tub. I need that. That's one of my goals.
That's
If
gnarly.
I sell enough, if I sell enough tax services, I can get a cold tub.
Well, you need to find a common interest with your client, right? And then you need
Yeah,
to
give it to me.
and
You
then
took the notes. Yeah, this is the sales coaching part of the podcast.
and then you
Okay,
need
I find a common interest with them.
dad's an astronaut, your brother's an astronaut. Check, boom.
Yeah.
Next one is trust. So you need to let them know, maybe let them in, tell them something about yourself, let them in.
Yeah. But it can't be a thing that lowers me. Like, I have to be, because look, because I've got to take care of their tax situation.
Yeah,
So I can't have if they had a business that went under, I can't have a business that went under.
correct.
I had a client whose business went under. You know,
Uh-huh.
I gotta stay the expert, right? It's gonna resolve.
Right.
I can't give them any doubt.
Right.
Yeah. So that's a tough one, because that I could make a mistake with that one, with the vulnerability,
I
with like,
I've done the same things where you're like, we're tight, here you go. And then the third one is a compliment, which is we're limited because we're only going with hearing, right? We can only hear what they're telling us. So we could say, oh, your background seems so relaxing, there's some music playing, or their voice. Oh, you have such a nice voice. Are you from Croatia? Hit him with some of
yeah.
that.
I compliment. I think I've complimented people's strength a lot, because if you owe money to the IRS, you took your eye off a ball somewhere, and a lot of times it was because you had some difficult situation in your life. But that takes a lot of strength to get through, and I hear that, and I hear that in your voice.
Yeah.
And also good for you for like wanting to clean this up and like get after it and get your shit together. I don't say get your shit together, but so whatever. That's the sentiment. It's like, good for you for getting on this, for taking care of business. I hear that. Strength. Yeah, strong. Very strong.
Oh,
Strong.
strong.
Yeah, strong.
Shout shout out to Master Shun, strong. Um, when I was, doing sales, but they would, of course, be in front of me. I was really big on if it was a woman complimenting her shoes or her purse or jewelry, and then if it was a man, if he had some,
Nice watch, bro.
yeah, all that bullshit, or if he had some size, you'd be like, oh, what'd you do? You push pull legs? What's your that whole BS routine? But the over the phone is another animal.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, yeah. I'll try to find some more. I should make a list or something. Their strength and their willingness to sort through their situation is one thing, but I could tell, I could just start telling them they have a nice voice. You have such a nice voice.
Yeah. Go where you just
Like, has anybody ever told you that you had such a nice voice? Well, let me just tell you,
are
being
you
on the other end of the line.
I'm sorry, you sound a lot like Meryl Streep. Is this Mrs. Streep? And they're like, and they go, no, but thank you. And you go, oh, okay, I'm sorry. Anyway, are you behind on your taxes?
Yeah, that's good. I'll try to use that. I'm just, you know what? I'll take it for a test drive this week at the office. I'll let you know how it goes.
We will follow up, or of course, send me a video with you and I.
I have some videos I started filming myself, like on the phone to practice. I recorded the dude in the cubicle next to me is also an actor, and he's top man on the board. Right. So, and everybody in the office is real cool and supportive. So I put my recorder app on my phone, stuck my phone in on his desk while he was uh, on an interview, like while he's doing the close, and I listen to it while I go to work in the car.
You're the man. I love that kind of shit. I love that. Yeah. I think
It's
that's really
fun. Yeah, and then I try and pull out little lines while I'm on the phone,
yeah.
little things he said. I'll try and find opportunities to use them, and then yeah, it's gonna be. And then I think it's probably like being a comedian a little bit. Like it'll turn into little bits,
Yeah. Yeah.
that you can segue off into and work them into your pitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's, if you don't mind me asking, and I could edit it out or whatever, what's the craziest number someone's been behind on their taxes?
Well, apparently, I'm just learning because I'm new to this industry, but apparently, truckers, drivers, and they're not truckers, by the way, they're drivers.
Yeah.
You can't call them truckers, they're drivers.
Um,
So that's the thing. We have a sheet on how to relate to them
yeah.
because they're like so notorious for not paying their taxes.
Yeah, and you hear them like you can hear them like probably spitting in their dip can.
We'll see, because what happens is a lot of these dudes are on, and ladies too, I guess. I'm not trying to be sexist.
Yeah.
They don't pay their taxes because they're just driving nonstop, trying to make as much money as they can.
Yeah.
And they're getting paid on 1099s, so there's no withholding for them, and so all they're thinking about is money and driving.
Yeah.
And nobody's sending any money to the IRS, and then so they get to the end of the year and they made like 150 grand driving or whatever, and there's no withholding, and so they owe 30 G's to the IRS, and they're like, well, I don't have 30 grand, like I spent it on whatever, whatever I'm doing. They don't have 30 grand, and then that happens year after year after year. I pulled wage and income transfers. We get to get on the phone with the IRS. And, I mean, they have to give us permission, of course, but that we get them to sign this form, and then I get on the phone with the IRS and I can pull their wage and income transfers like the last 6 years, whatever it is. And this one dude, I don't think we ever got him back on the phone, but like from looking at his transcripts, I mean, he was gonna owe when you're 1099, you have expenses and stuff, and you can get it down, but he was probably gonna owe like well into the six figures to the IRS. And then, to all the truckers, I'm sorry, excuse me, to all the drivers out there, whether you're dedicated, whether you're running all 48, when you get to the fuel island, just Send a little bit to the IRS because you don't want to get in trouble.
Yeah, good. Um,
Yeah.
Something that I learned when I got to film at Pacers Strip Club in San Diego for the movie. Um, they're not strippers; they're exotic dancers.
They're dancers. Yeah.
Yeah. So just to add to the proper titles for people, made me think of it.
Yeah. Yeah. They're not truckers. They're drivers, and they don't drive big rigs.
Cool.
They drive big trucks. They're drivers.
uh, okay. Overall, I really do enjoy this film. I thought this was a good recommendation, man.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yeah, really good. I'd seen it before. It had been a while. When I was working at Martin Chevrolet, we were really big on. I would watch that Alec Baldwin thing a lot, and like kind of hype myself up and then get after it. You know.
Yeah. You'd imagine those brass balls.
Exactly. Exactly. And just the whole, it's funny, man, like the car business. I said this recently, I think on the podcast, but I had a friend that he drove the Corvette. He wore the suit, you know, because he's working at a car dealership, so he could get a discount on the Corvette. And then he like wore the suit, and he thought he was like like an Alec Baldwin, but he had a drug addiction, so he was always like scraping change for a slushy or something, and then hopping in his Corvette, and then like doing that uh little tick you could do when you're wearing a watch, you know, like flicking your wrist often. You're like, oh, lots of layers of douche, you know. And he's in rehab right now. Just to follow up with him.
Really?
Yeah, he's in rehab right now. Yeah,
Good for him.
honestly, yeah. And it's been like he's gonna be there in total a year when it's all said and done. So,
I hope it sticks.
me too. And I feel really good about it. Yeah.
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 So you're still tight with some of your car selling
I
compadres.
I am, and some of them are doing well. Some of them are out of the business. One guy that I was really cool with, he came from selling women's shoes at like a Nordstrom's, and then upgraded to selling cars, and is just amazing at it. And it's cool because he's Hispanic, he's like a rapper, but he's got like neck tattoos. But in this age anymore, it doesn't matter. You know, he just if you have the golden tongue or not.
Yeah. Well, and that's awesome too. Like I think anytime you can be a little bit unexpected, like
Yeah.
get people out of whatever they think the experience is going to be like, because people always, we have in our mind the way that a sales thing is going to go.
Yeah.
And if you get somebody out of that right away, then they're, ready to be like ready for you to pick their pocket, right? Because they won't be. So it's like if you go up to this like all tatted up guy, right? He looks like he got out of prison, but he's also wearing a suit, and now he's like doing a bunch of math, telling you about your APR, where you're like, what the fuck is going on? And the next thing you know.
And then then he'll finish his sale, and in between sales, he'll get like a tall can of a beer, and he'll put like a bunch of salt or something on the outside, and then the lime. He's like slamming one in between.
Wow.
I know. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. Do you ever pregame before, or this is maybe unprofessional to ask, but do you ever pregame before, before your shift with like a chief or something, or no?
Yeah, my second day I ate a couple grams of mushrooms before I went in, and that
I'm
was
so,
interesting.
I'm so happy.
What?
I'm so happy.
I feel sometimes in new environments, um I I personally think that mushrooms are great for I think they're great for adapting
Yeah.
to situations, because they just reveal so much. And when they reveal, and when you see how you're reacting to what's happening, like it takes all these subconscious things and makes them conscious, and then you can learn, right? You can learn faster, and you can adapt. And so I was new on the job, and so that's why I did it. I think now I wouldn't, because like now I have responsibilities kind of, and like I know what I'm doing, and there's things just like shit I want to get done.
Yeah.
But when I didn't have anything to get done, just learning, like it was really helpful to like kind of break the ice and ease me into it.
Yeah.
And I was still productive. I made a shitload of phone calls.
It's so rad. It's so rad. Do you ever have like a see, I think I could do exactly what you just described and be fine, except for the one dude or the one woman that gives me just kind of a weird look. That will like I'll run with that for like a good hour and chew on that. Like, what's your fucking okay, 1 out of 3 people don't like you. It's okay. What was that look? Did I do something, or is that just her? I would have stuff like that would just mess with me, but everything else would be like good to go.
Yeah, I understand that. I guess I don't have that issue as much. Like I shot something, right? Like 2.5 grams before I went and shot something a couple months ago. And I definitely have that. Like I little things that people say or the way they look at you or whatever. But I think at work, like you're there to get the job done.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's what matters. And so like I think at work I might not chase that rabbit hole. And also like um I have a lot of experience in the last year in all kinds of situations,
Right.
being on psychedelics. And so like I think how much experience do you have? Do you have like a lot of situations? I think the more that you have, go ahead.
I caught up big time after filming between COVID and the shooting in September. I was able to like reflect on the film, do some more writing, and I had my microdose days where I was, and I had a goal, and it was kind of cool where I did a thing where I would like relate it towards exercising and my diet and like taking a nice hike and being outdoors and connecting with nature. But then I always timed it where like not at the peak, but I would maybe throw in a little bit more to kind of time something. I would watch a film that like I watched Once Upon a Time in the West on one evening. And when you get the third act standoff and you're getting all the extreme close-ups of everyone, I'm like totally emotional and involved in the film and like immersed in the score. And like Andrei Tarkovsky films are a little slower, and I would watch those and appreciate the hell out of them and be really like complete talk about in the moment. I'm like completely locked in. And I do have one story that kind of came up when you were talking. I'd like to share with you.
Please.
I was about 20 or 21 years old. I was watching my aunt and uncle's house in Colorado. I had a cool hippie girlfriend. Now she's my ex. Shout out to never mind. So maybe not. She brought over a couple, and they brought over the mushrooms. And the girl shows up and she's cool, and the guy shows up and he's fucked. His vibe is bad. He's like avoiding eye contact, looking around the house, and then we're all gonna eat mushrooms. And so we all eat the mushrooms, and things are kind of kicking in. And then they want to watch the Alice in Wonderland, the animated version. And so we put it on, and we're all starting to kind of trip. And then at one point, Alice is going, "Hello, hello." And then out of nowhere in the hallway of the house, my aunt and uncle's cousin shows up to pick something up randomly. And at the same time, she's going, "Hello, hello." So we're like I'm like confused. And then she literally walks up. And the reason why she's there is to get a cross off the wall to mail it to my aunt and uncle for a funeral. Okay. So she walks in the house, and before she says anything to us, she takes the cross off the wall. So we're like, everyone's tripping. You know what I mean? And nobody knows who she is. She's taking the cross off the wall. Anyway, I talked to her. There's a ton of weed on the table. There's a ton of mushrooms on the table. And she was cool, and she leaves and everything's fine. The part that I wanted to share that I thought was kind of funny was, okay, so we're in it. We're kind of in deep. We sit on the couch to finish the movie. the boyfriend guy says, "Is it okay if I walk around and like walk around the house?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, sure. You know, like do your thing." So we're all sitting there. And before he asked me that, he actually grabbed a pillow and he was like, I was sitting to the right of him. And so he was doing this with the pillow. And he didn't really want me to look at him, you know? so I'm like, whatever, everything's fine. He goes, "Is it cool if I go in the backyard?" After he's like looking around the house, and he's not in a room by himself, but he is like exploring. And I get it. I totally get that feeling of the exploring. He goes, "Is it cool if I go in the backyard?" And I go, "Sure." But the setup of the backyard, all the neighbors could like watch him if they wanted to. And one of the neighbors is a CSI cop. Okay. I go to check on him in the backyard, and he's standing looking up at the sky, open arms, just spinning in circles. You know, so it just looks like a guy on drugs in your backyard. You know what I mean? It's just a guy on drugs. So to this day, I've never said anything to my ex or the girl. But I go in the backyard and I'm like acting all enthusiastic and cool. And I go, "Hey man, how you doing?" He's like, "Good." I go, "Can I talk to you for a second?" And he goes, "Yeah." I go, "Come over here." And I go, "You're gonna go inside and you're gonna get your shit and you're not gonna say anything and you're gonna leave." Okay? Like that. Okay. And I said, you're gonna go, okay? Okay, bye. Okay. He walks inside and you could feel him like, you know, not having a good high. And I'm sorry, I forgot your name, but sorry about that guy. And he's shaking and he goes, "Hey, we need to get going. Is it cool before I leave if I can have a glass of milk?" And I say, "Sure. Yeah, have it." And I'm like looking at him like, "Yeah, you know, like, do you want it to go?" You know, like that kind of thing. So he takes a glass of milk, drinks it, and he goes, "I'm going to pay you for the milk." He goes, "Thank you so much for the milk." He's throwing out change. And I'm like, "Cool. Can I help see you guys out?" And he's like, "Yeah." So we see them out, and then they leave, and he left me like, I'm not kidding, it paid for my Chick-fil-A order the next day. So he left me $10+ in change, $12 in change. And he bought me lunch the next day, but that's the end of it. I just thought that was kind of like, you know, it sucks when you have to give someone a bad high, you know.
Wow.
Have you ever had to do that?
Give somebody a bad high?
Yeah.
No,
Is that okay that I did that, Pete? Is that all right?
no. Yeah, I'm just gonna. Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. I think you could probably even reframe that. Like, that's just what happened. I don't think you can't give me a bad high.
Yeah. Yeah.
You can't give me a bad high.
Hey, that's
I'll pay you. I'll pay you for the milk, and I'll walk out, and I'll have a great rest of my day.
that's connected with you in auditions, in my opinion. The ego in a good way, like the lack of ego and feeling you feel free, man. It's I believe that. I believe if I did that to you and we didn't know each other, you'd be like, "I'm gonna go still have a great day." Yeah.
I hope I would be like, "You want me to go?" And you'd be like, "Yeah," and I'd be like, "Oh, you really want me to go? Okay, all right. Can I have a glass of milk?"
Um uh
You really want me to go?
and then you would have flipped it on me and I would have been going through like a weird, "Okay, just stay, but just sit down and don't," yeah, it's weird.
It's bothering you that I'm spinning in your backyard.
Yes. Yes, it is.
You
Can you
don't
stop?
like that I'm spinning around and looking at the sky. You want me to stop.
Yeah,
You want me to
can you
you want me
stop?
to stop.
Right.
I can stop. Yeah,
Good.
I can
Good.
stop.
Um Pete, Pete, dude, thank you so much for your time and being on the podcast today.
It's over.
Do you want to tell me a mushroom story to kind of cancel out my, it doesn't have to be mean, but do you have one? A journey story? A realization moment? A men's were you like,
Mm,
walking around and saw a men's circle and inspired them and chatted with them? You guys all spun in circles together?
No, I want to get into something like that. I messaged a guy on TikTok that I know, and he said that they had a men's group, and he said, let me know. And I said, cool, yeah, I want to do that. That was the last I heard from him.
Well,
yeah, I feel like I don't know if anybody out there has a men's group that wants to have me. Let me know. I want to sit in the cold tub and like just be talk about our feelings. Yeah, a shroom story. No, I don't think I do have one.
cool.
I don't think I do have one. Yeah.
How did the live concert go for New Elvis?
Oh, fine. I don't know which one you're talking about, but it was fine, whichever one it was.
So rad.
I always have a good time / like I'm always a little scared. And I'm always a little worried about whether or not it can be heard properly because guitars are louder than the saxophone.
I remember sending you a video telling you got the part. You remember that?
Yeah, I do. That was great. I appreciated that.
And then I danced. I was like, you dance for me, Pete, so I'll dance for you. And then I danced, and then I was all like, will you play in Filthy Animals? It was fun. And then I have another fun memory where I went to meet you at your gym so we could talk about the part and the role and kind of where we wanted to go with it. And I remember like, you're a big dude. So I remember thinking like, okay, he's probably like a 2X or an extra large. You remember this?
And I was like, no, I'm a medium, but
yeah.
I like to stretch them out.
Yeah. And then you showed me, and you like, as you showed me, you like took your flannel off, and then you like almost took out the waiter or the guy working as you were showing me. And then I'll never forget that movement though, where you like pull it down here. And then I remember I was holding a 2X and an XL, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll give you your shirt another day. Yeah.
And you did.
I did. Oh yeah, definitely. And then I should
have worn it. It's fucked up that I didn't wear it.
No, it would be
that's a missed opportunity.
Are you happy with the shirt? Are you happy with the shirt?
I'm super happy with the shirt.
And that's
all.
Yeah,
I love the shirt. That's all that matters.
Yeah, because
okay.
I later in the year I'm shooting another feature, and when things get more fine-tuned, I wrote a part for you to be involved in the feature if you'd like to work with me again.
Fuck yeah.
Cool.
Fuck yeah, dude. That's what it's all about.
All right, rad. Yeah. And I'm gonna you're doing stuff with Ray, just so you know.
Dude.
Cool.
That makes me super happy.
Cheers. Good. And we'll get it going, and awesome. Good to know. Well, that's probably a good place to wrap.
Yeah. That's a good place to stop.
Hey, I want to do this again if you want to.
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, that sounds good.
I would like to do Kestrel's Eye and cover that filmmaker.
Dude, that's a really good one. Yeah, I would love to do anything I could do to let more people know about his work. I think his work is so awesome. And I try, but it's, maybe like people don't want to watch like weird, slow nature documentaries like that. I never heard from anybody that I gave that film to, but I think it's just so beautiful. Plus, I'd love to watch it again.
I'm a fan, and I think it's very inspiring. And I think as a filmmaker, people think I need to make a big action film. I need to be able to have this set. I need to be able to have this actors. I think it's a great exercise, and there's no excuse, create.
Did you watch Lightyear?
Yeah.
Dude, when the fucking like porcupine shows up, it's a big moment, right? You're like, oh shit, now there's a porcupine.
Shit's getting real. Yeah. It got.
Yeah.
Can you hear me? Okay.
Okay, we can do that.
Let's next time we meet, we'll cover that filmmaker. What are you cooking tonight, Pete, for Valentine's Day?
I'll show you.
Show it.
I'll show you.
Show it.
I got some Texas style chili con carne going
Oh wow.
from scratch. Look at this. Oh yeah. Ooh. I took the chilies and I toasted them. I did the whole thing. New Mexico, some ancho. Yeah. All right, man. Well, happy Valentine's Day. Thanks for the chat.
Are you gonna show me it?
I thought I did. You didn't see it?
Oh, you have a glitch. I'm sorry. Can you show it again? There it is. Ooh. Ooh, hot damn. Yeah. Strong. Very strong.
Yeah. Yep.
Hey, Pete, how often do you get a cheeseburger at a drive-through?
A drive-through? How often? I don't know, maybe like a couple times a year.
That's what I figured. And you guys eat at home a lot, huh?
Yeah. Yeah. Pack my lunch.
You still
see my mask? No, not really.
You're not baking bread as much? Oh my gosh, dude. Oh, that's terrible. Terrible. Oh, that's really weird. Good shit. Oh, that's fucked, bro.
It's like the little stars.
You're gonna have fun with that. That's great. Oh my god. Just gnarly. The great Pete Larney, thank you so much for your time today.
Oh man. Thank you. You're the great one. I just do what I'm told. I
will never, not to drag this out, I will never forget when you told me that you were like, know what you want, tell me what to do, and I will do what you need. It gave me a nice confident booster working with you. Thank you. And working with other actors in general.
I can't wait to do it again.
Yes, exactly. Okay, I will text you. We'll talk soon.
All right. Later, man.
Bye.
Bye.
What's going on? You need some help with your nails or something?
Oh, no.
They look nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, they look really good. You take good care of them, huh?
Yeah?
Yeah. You ever had like a real manicure? Like a real one, like an expensive one?
Yeah, kind of. I'm just into this kind of stuff.
Yeah? I've been a professional
oh, wow.
manicurist for a while.
That's good.
You know, lollipop? They're sugar-free. They're good for your teeth. Yeah, look.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. You want to see my salon? I have one built in my house.
What's that?
Huh?
What's that?
My salon?
Yeah.
I have for the feet, and I have some
Wow.
wax and things like that.
That sounds cool.
Have you ever had somebody take care of you, like really take care of you? Really?
Yeah, I'm just chilling here right now.
I know, I can see that. Try it, it's good.
But my parents told me you shouldn't eat something stranger give it to me.
But look, it's in plastic. It's completely sealed up in plastic.
Okay.
See, look. And look. It's got clean teeth, see? It helps keep your teeth clean. We'll keep your teeth clean. We'll keep your nails clean.
I'd like to get that. Oh, it's good.